Hey Nejc,
Hi.
do you miss FTC yet?
Kind of.
Do you want to recap this current season?
We can try. So, at the start of the season, our mentors divided us into two teams. First team, us, VegaMind, senior team, and the junior team, VegaTech.
Then we went and analyzed the game. So first we looked at the challenge video, and from watching it, we figured that it would probably be the best idea to go and score both samples and specimens. So we thought around a little bit, and we came to the conclusion that we would focus on samples and then also add capability for doing specimens.
And then we made a couple of designs. And the final design featured a rotating arm for intake and a linear lift for outtake.
So after the mock-ups were done, we started work on the CAD design for the robot, and we had an idea to replace the lifter with an arm that can rotate and can be used for both intake and outtake of samples and specimens.
And what happened at scrimmage?
Scrimmage, we had a few issues with the actual assembly of this arm that we ended up designing. First of all, it wasn't very heavy, and we couldn't really handle it that well, so we didn't score that many points. But even though we couldn't really handle the arm that well, we still managed to win a game we played with VegaTech on the same alliance. So that was pretty cool. And after this wonderful game with VegaTech, we had a little accident with the arm.
And what accident was that?
Well, as I mentioned, the arm was pretty hard to handle, and sometimes the motor just gave out. And one time, what actually happened is that the motor gave out, the lifter fell out of the robot over another robot, and then that robot's team panicked, moved the robot, and broke our left arm. And we couldn't really do anything for a few matches.
That sounds fun.
So we had fun. So right after the scrimmage, we went through all the footage we took of the competitions, and we figured that maybe the arm was not the best idea, and we switched back to using a fixed lifter and also a horizontal slider for both intake and outtake, so that we can actually develop the mechanisms before the competition.
Then we represented FTC and FGC at 2 regional and 1 national competition of FLL to hopefully inspire some young minds.
Then somebody got a little bit mad at the team, but that's not really that important, so we'll just ignore it for now.
And after that one, we represented at Informativa convention and Informativni Devi both at our school.
We had a little bit of work still to do before the competition in Italy, and one of the things we actually had to do is go and replace all of the wood panels we had in our robot with acrylic ones, because as we found, acrylic actually worked way better for us than wood did, especially when we stopped it from breaking constantly.
And then the day before the competition, we just mostly prepare ourselves, did the control scheme, and started doing software because the robot was mostly done hardware-wise.
So when we arrived at the competition venue, we set up our robot for the inspection, which we passed as one of the first teams to participate in the competition.
Then the rest of the day we just tried to practice and get the Roadrunner up and running, which we failed.
Then during the same night we definitely did not stay up late, writing the entirety of the engineering portfolio.
And then there was a match in which we got a yellow card by pushing 3 samples with a robot.
Even though we had a few issues here and there, we still had a ton of fun. The competition went really great for us. And actually, at the time of the competition, we were in the top 50% of the world's teams in terms of points, which is 45 percentile points more than last year.
So what we learned this year is that we should not use so much time on samples and more time focused on specimens, and that we should not use Roadrunner because it's impossible to set up, and that we should put more time into practice.
We are gonna use Pedro pathing for our autonomous because it's much easier to set up. We are gonna try to get more time in for practicing because we figured out that that is something we need, and we are gonna try and assemble the robot much faster than we usually do so that we can actually try and improve it. Okay, great recap. Now let's get back to work.